We interrupt your scheduled viewing to bring you this emergency broadcast. Coming to you from the Paranormal Project studio. Mothers, look up your sons, and fathers, look up your daughters. It's the men behind the curtain.
You look so fucking ridiculous with that beard stick. Hello everyone, my name is Brad and this is Dan.
Hello.
And we are the men behind the curtain. We're paranormal investigators. We take the job very seriously, as you can see. And basically we are reviewing movies at this point in time. So,
Oh, shit.
wow, Freddie, you're not sounding too good there.
Too many dreams and not enough time.
I think Freddie needs a COVID test at this
COVID
point.
in the dreams.
So tonight we're reviewing a 1984 a 1984 classic, A Nightmare on Elm Street.
It's prime time, bitches.
It was directed by Wes Craven. It was one of the first horror movies he did. Like Last House on the Left, he sort of did relatively the same time.
Yes.
But Nightmare on Elm Street, it was inspired by him. A couple of things.
Yes, he was a bully back when he was in school, wasn't it?
He was, yes. So Fred Krueger was a bully who persecuted Wes back in his younger years, and he always remembered.
Never dies.
He never dies after 10 fucking movies. He's still alive.
Exactly.
Even like the last one. Like we won't go into the sequels because we're just focusing on the original. But there was a sequel called Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare, and they pumped out like 3 or 4 other fucking movies after that as well.
So, spoiler alert, he's not really.
Oh, wow. If you need a spoiler from a 1984 movie, I don't think you're in the right spot.
So he was the first one to actually... That was the first movie that kind of went to that genre of those slasher killer movies, though, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, it was one of the first in the sense that, it sort of introduced... Like, there was always Friday the 13th before that.
Yeah, okay.
But still, by the same right, it paved the way for, Jason and Michael Myers definitely paved Freddy's way. But Freddy was the first that had the personality.
Yeah.
Like, not just the mask or the face, or the face, I should say.
Catchphrases as well.
Yes. Catchphrase, one line is like, it got to a point where Freddy stopped being a horror and started being a comedy.
Yeah.
And I think that's where Freddy lost his edge. And we can laugh about it now because he's so ingrained in pop culture.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was terrifying as fuck for people.
Well, I suppose that blood scene coming up from the bed to the roof.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
I think they were more devastated that Johnny Depp was getting killed.
Well, that's true too. Yeah.
But-
Well, he survived. He became a pirate.
He did the best out of anyone in that whole franchise.
That's a
Even
good
the
point.
gorilla dickhead that tried to fight him at the start.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
The boyfriend, the one that went on the run, who everyone thought that they were...
Killed him and
Yeah.
killed her and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that guy deserved to die. You always know that there's one in a movie that's going to get offed, and he was asking for it.
Yeah, that's it.
But the
He
whole...
got off that night, though, didn't he?
Well, that he did. Oh, well, that plays into the other movie mythology, and Wes Craven did it with Scream later, how there was the rules of the horror movie,
Yeah.
where if you have sex, you die.
Ah,
That's the whole premise of any horror movie.
Oh,
Once you bang, you're gone.
Oh, for fuck's
Freddy,
sake.
Jason, Michael's going to get you, and it's a proven formula.
That's what they're saying. Don't have sex.
Well,
bad for
abstinence
you.
is key, yes. Don't let Freddy get you.
Don't fall asleep tonight. Freddy's gonna come and get you.
Bogan Freddy Farmer Crew. Sit down, you fuckhead. You've had enough of that. You fucking look so creepy in that mask. You really do. I think it's the fact that you've shittily cut out the mouth of it. Oh, that's what they want.
Got a few cubes in my mouth right now.
Well, we can't get off track. Last week's episode, Fire in the Sky, we just went completely off the fucking rails. So let's try and not have a repeat of that this time.
It wasn't the get up, it was inspired by some homeless dude who was
Yeah,
looking in
yeah,
his window
so-
and all that?
That's correct. So Wes saw a hobo peeking in through a window in his younger years as well, and that sort of inspired the garb of Freddy. So the red and green striped shirt and the fedora.
Fashioned by Freddy.
Oh, well, I got to say, you look like a bogan Freddy Krueger with that shitty hat.
Yeah, I'm going for your ciggies. Give me a VV, you cunts.
Well, it's probably we're gonna have to throw in an edit there, I think,
Oh.
at that point. But yeah, so it was inspired by a lot of his childhood trauma, we should say.
Yeah.
But I guess we're not gonna focus on that for this episode. What we're more gonna focus on is sleep paralysis and sort of how that intertwines into the paranormal. Like,
is it paranormal or isn't it paranormal? That's the other thing.
well, it is very much a scientific fact that sleep paralysis does exist. So I think in watching A Nightmare on Elm Street, our basis for sort of, I guess, judging how real it is going to be gauged on the sleep paralysis factor. Because realistically, no one's going to become a dream demon and haunt people's dream. Well, no, I mean, present company excluded, of course.
I'm like a roofie.
That is a very good analogy for Freddy Krueger. We've got 3 questions we're going to ask for this episode.
Oh, yes.
So, what are the signs of and symptoms of sleep paralysis? And what's topic 2?
Topic 2 is, what do people who suffer from sleep paralysis describe?
Besides you.
Besides me.
And topic 3 will be, how real is it? And I guess sleep paralysis is real. We should add that.
You better not sleep tonight.
Righto, calm down with your Freddyisms, motherfucker. But let's introduce the first clip before this goes well off course.
Yes.
So the first clip's going to revolve around that first question of what are the signs and symptoms of sleep paralysis?
She's into REMs now. She's definitely dreaming now. It's a good one, too. Typical dream parameter. A nightmare now would be plus or minus 5 or 6. She's about 3.
Doctor, what's she doing now? Is she asleep or awake?
Something's wrong. It never gets this high.
What's she doing?
I don't know.
Is she dreaming? This'll help you sleep.
Oh my God, Earl! Get something!
It's okay.
I brought something out from my dream. Where did you get that?
Bitch stole my hut.
We'll get you another one. It's alright, it was a shitty hat anyway, that one. So, so that was I guess that didn't really show so much the signs and symptoms. It's more like the diagnosis.
Yes.
When they go through all of the tests, like people go to sleep clinics and stuff like that to figure out what their sleeping patterns are.
Yep.
And that seems more of a reflection of what happens, but shit gets wild, as you could see. And then,
It's wild, yes.
and the
I'll
bitch
lose
stole your hat.
I was a fucking hut.
It's alright, you get it back in the sequel. No spoilers. So we're just going to go through, I guess, some of the signs and symptoms of them. So I guess the first and foremost one is the lack of sleep or sleep deprivation.
Definitely. Second one is actually stress.
Yeah. Well, that coupled with, say, things like PTSD as well. A lot of those factors come into it, which I guess plays into some of the mythology of how it all started. Because Wes Craven, when he went out to make Nightmare on Elm Street, he was reading an article, and it was about the Hmong people who'd sort of come over to escape the regime that was going on. And it, I guess, being in sort of, I guess, that Cold War sort of war-type scenario, there was a lot of PTSD that come with that. And there were reports of people just falling asleep and dying while they were asleep. And so he read an article on that, and that sort of drew inspiration from that to build Nightmare on Elm Street.
Do
Just
I have competition, do I?
Well, from your creator, yes, I suppose you do. You're going to go back in time and bully Wes as a child, are you?
Yes.
But, yeah, so a lot of that sort of plays into the sleep paralysis. But
Yeah.
I guess just to give a summary for people who don't know what sleep paralysis is, I guess the best way to describe it is the body and mind just not being in sync, in the sense that...
It's like a sleep hangover.
Yeah,
Like a dream hangover or something.
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
almost
Like your mind wakes up, but your body doesn't.
Yeah.
So, and your mind can still be in that state where you're seeing things, hallucinating, and it can be misinterpreted in a lot of ways, like demonic possession, things like that. Waking up and not being able to move, having pressure felt upon your chest.
Yep.
A lot of that kind of stuff. So yeah, dream hangover, I think, is the best analogy.
So have you ever had a sleep paralysis kind of experience before?
I thought you were going to ask if I've had a hangover, and I can assure you I've had many of those in my years. But
that is very true.
yeah, I'm a lush. But in any case, yeah, I wouldn't say it was full-blown sleep analysis in the sense that I was seeing things, but sort of waking up and not so much that sense of panic, but more just waking up and not being able to move.
Okay, yeah.
Like I sort of put it akin to like how a stroke would feel, I guess.
So did you just go back to sleep again, or did you?
Well, I sort of woke up and I was awake, and I guess I was lucid in the sense that I sort of knew where I was.
Yep.
But at the same time, it's like, oh shit, it's like you've fallen asleep on your entire body, and it's like,
shit.
oh, I can't move.
Yeah.
So that was the feeling for me, but not as extreme as your case.
Oh yeah. Well, no, it's once for me and twice for my girlfriend at the time. There.
Yeah.
It was same thing happened. I kind of woke up, couldn't move. It felt like there was, because it was a lucid kind of dreaming as well.
Yeah.
It felt like a caravan had been put on me, and I couldn't move. I was
A
squat.
caravan.
For some reason, I was dreaming about a caravan
Wow,
at some
shit.
stage.
It's like
And
Wicked
then-
Witch of the West kind of thing going on there.
That's it. And then
Caravan
I
falling on
couldn't-
you.
I couldn't get it off or anything. I couldn't move or anything like that.
I'm sure
The
you
next
couldn't
thing-
get it off.
The next thing I know, I'm on the other side of the bedroom, looking at my own bed, looking at myself
Oh,
not getting
wow.
off.
Oh, Freddie's having some
then-
wet dreams, I see.
Oh yeah, fucking the sea of love.
Oh, God.
But no, it was just like I was standing at the other end of my bedroom, and I was looking diagonally at my bed, and I'm just going, "What the fuck did I get here?"
Wow, like an astral projection kind of thing.
kind
Wow.
of thing. But it was really weird. And then my girlfriend at the time, a couple of weeks later, she had the same kind of instance where she woke up and couldn't move, but then hearing one of those pedestal fans, the fucking buttons click, 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 click,
Wow.
click, 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 it's up and down.
Like
And then
poltergeist activity
kind
kind
of
of thing.
similar, similar to that. And then had another one after that, like another couple of weeks after that.
So where were you? Were you...
I was in bed beside her, but the first one actually, she woke me up, and the first thing
wow.
I did was jump out of bed and get my fucking EMF meter. Where are the ghosts?
Spoken
I'm
like a
coming
true
to-
paranormal
I'm
investigator.
coming to get ya.
Wow.
Not that an EMF meter would have done much,
Yeah.
but you know.
I'm sure waking up next to you was scary enough. So. You're a fucking idiot. Anyway, let's roll clip 2, which is going to be based on what do people describe who's... Oh, what? Oh god, I fucked that up. What do people... Fuck off with your claw, you mangled fucking claw, you prick.
I'm going to give you a big cut.
Cut to the clip.
All day long I've been seeing that guy's weird face. And hearing those fingernails.
Fingernails? That's amazing you saying that. That made me remember the dream I had last night.
What'd you dream?
I dreamed about a guy in a dirty red and green sweater.
Well, what about the fingernails?
Oh, he scraped his fingernails along things. Actually, they were more like finger knives or something he'd made himself. But they made a horrible sound. scream.
Nancy, you dreamed about the same creep I did.
You're a fucking idiot. Settle down. Fucking
Give me a trim.
Get back in your fucking chair. Fucking huh. Well, I'm sure people don't describe that about you in reality.
God, I'm sure there's people out there that have wet dreams about me.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. Anyway, so topic 2 is going to revolve around like what people describe when they're suffering from sleep paralysis, like full-blown sleep paralysis. And Freddy's no different, I guess, in the sense of that to, say, like the tall man that people describe,
Yes.
like the man in the tall sort of Victorian-style hat.
Yep. And the Victorian lady as well.
Yeah, the woman in white.
Yep.
The old hag kind of thing. And that sort of plays into... We've had cases that we've done where people have described exactly that.
Yeah.
And like the synchronicity of it all.
And that doesn't necessarily have to be sleep paralysis either. That comes into play with a lot of different aspects of the paranormal too.
Exactly,
So,
yeah. And it sort of goes to show how much pop culture has an influence on it as well.
Oh, definitely. Pop culture has an influence in everything.
So like the old Victorian man that people see, the man in the hat, that could be... That could be back from the days of Jack the Ripper.
Jack the Ripper or anything like that, yeah.
So like the fear of just that silhouette of seeing that.
Because that takes me back to the second time that my then girlfriend had sleep paralysis. Saw a black figure beside the bed. Once again, couldn't move. Felt all awake, but couldn't move a muscle.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, a guy in a navy outfit came in front.
A navy outfit?
Yeah. It's like an old dude with white beard came in front of the black figure, and all of a sudden the black figure was gone, and she was able to move again. So she actually asked her mum the next day. Her mum's like, "Oh, that sounds like your granddad."
Oh.
And then
Wow.
lo and behold, in all the picture frame was the man exactly
Shit, like a protector figure.
Yeah, so it looked like granddad was actually looking out for her.
The black figure, I guess, is another like shadow figure that's been seen by a lot of people. I guess it's just that blank void of just blacker than black, where like even in the dark you can still see the silhouette
That's
kind of thing.
it.
It's just uncanny. People describing the same things, just like they describe Freddy in the same way as well.
Yes,
like everyone has seen Freddy in their dreams at this point on Elm Street, and I guess that's a reflection of how the reality of sleep paralysis works as well,
true,
and be
that's
that
true.
through influences of pop culture or just anything generally.
He gets around though, because there's all those high school kids that were getting the dream at the same time.
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on there?
Well, it's all the parents of all the kids,
there we
the
go.
parents
That's
that took part with killing Freddy.
That's right.
And again, you don't really get much from the first movie in that mythology.
No.
And it goes real fucking weird, I should add as well.
Really?
Anyway, we'll get on to the third topic,
Yes.
which, as always, is going to be how real is it?
Yes.
And for the last clip, we're going to go with the ending of the movie.
God. It's bright.
It's gonna burn off sooner. It wouldn't be so bright.
Feeling better?
Oh, I feel like $1,000,000. They say you've bottomed out when you can't remember the night before. No, baby, I'm gonna stop drinking. I just don't feel like it anymore. Did I keep you awake last night? You look a little bit peaked.
No. I guess I just slept heavy.
Okay. I'll see you.
See ya. Hi, everybody.
Believe this fog?
Oh, I believe anything is possible.
Bye.
Looking good, girl.
Hey!
What's going on?
Hey, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this.
What's going on with the window?
You enjoyed that way too much.
Whoa, what a rush!
So the thing I liked about that ending, And I didn't really see it until we watched it again. It's very Inception-like. And you don't know how you don't know if she's still in the dream or if she's if that's actually happening. I guess that begs the question: how real was it? That's a good reflection of how the parents acted, because it's we get reports of people coming to us and saying, "Hey, I'm seeing this in my dreams and that," and we kind of know in the back of our heads that a lot of it could be contributed to sleep paralysis, but to them it's completely real. And that's, I guess, a perfect reaction, and I think that sort of ups the score a little bit for me in terms of how real the movie got it. I'm not talking in the sense of Freddy Krueger and the Dream Demon. I think we established that early on, that that's not how we're going to approach the realism, but more how they got the whole concept of sleep paralysis.
I'd still say about a 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10 ghouls. And ghouls is how we're doing it all, yeah? So 5 out of 10 ghouls on realism.
On realism, with the whole sleep paralysis basis.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, the whole fact, the whole process of if someone's having bad dreams, they go to a sleep clinic. They sort of took those steps in the movie to a degree.
The coffee to try and stay awake because they're scared of going to sleep, the no-dose, or the mother drinking a fifth of vodka or whatever it is. And
I think she was doing that to fall asleep.
But, at the same time, that's... Imagine that'll be normal for people in 2020.
During the pandemic. Pretty much, but I guess that all plays a part in what they got right in the movie in terms of what was real. I mean, I guess a good... I think 5 is a good number for it, because, I mean, half the movie was a fantasy based on a child child killing for the first movie. Serial killer with gnarly burn marks because they set him alight.
That's it, exactly.
But taking that factor out of it...
My revenge. Next movie.
Freddy's Revenge. But I guess that all plays into the whole sleep paralysis, and I think that was the only way that we could approach this movie.
That's true.
Anyway,
that's what I'm going to watch tonight too. Freddy got fingered.
Freddy got fingered. That is not a sequel to the Nightmare on Elm Street series, I might add as well.
It's just a good night for Freddy.
No. But anyway. Do the subscribe, and I'm being a shill right now and doing the whole follow us and that. But
before I forget too, have you ever experienced sleep paralysis?
Oh,
let us know in the comments below. Freddy's gonna come get you.
Freddy's gonna come get you. Right. Freddy's gonna get a smack in the head in a sec. Fuck off. Anyway, have a good night. We'll see you next week with another episode where Dan will be dressed up as another fucking idiot. Leave me alone. Say goodbye. Wave.
Goodbye.